Hey everyone, it's Casey Nicole, and today I'm going to take you through a fun and fiery little practice where we're going to really tap into the core muscles. You could think about the practice we're going to be doing today as preparation for handstands, compression work, calisthenics, ways to get the hips and the core connected. And all you're really going to need today, notice I don't have a yoga mat. You don't really need one. In fact, yoga mats tend to be sticky, and we want to do the opposite of stick. We want to be able to slide and move today. So I've removed my mat, and we're going to be wearing socks today. So the fluffier the socks, the better, the more that they can glide. Okay. I also have 2 blocks. We'll be using that for our last exercise. And like mentioned, we're going to work on pike shapes. We're going to work on isolating movements through the legs and core. And we're going to work on compression type exercises to get the core nice and active. So all we're going to do is we're going to stretch and open the wrists a little bit. We're going to engage a little bit through the shoulders and core. And then we're going to jump right on into the exercises. This can be great as preparation for your handstand or calisthenic practice, or it can be just a standalone practice, something to get your core nice and active and ready and get your blood pumping a little bit. Okay, so nice seated position here, spine up nice and tall, interlace your fingers, and let's just take some little figure eights. Okay, and then shake it out. Flip your hands over and let's bring them up in towards your armpits. Okay, we're doing this before we're sweaty, so you're welcome. As you bring the arms up, hands up into your armpits, you're just going to let your elbows fall down. So now we're getting that nice stretch into the tops of the wrists. But we don't want to stretch too long. We're going to be strengthening, so let's shake it out. Hands forward. Right hand, you're going to have like a stop sign with your hand. And then just pull back with your left hand, drawing back through the fingertips. And then release, shake it out. Other side. Left hand says stop. Right hand pulls it back. And then release, shake it out. Okay. So to warm up the core, we're just going to take some plank positions. Plank is going to be kind of a foundation for a couple of the things we're going to be doing today. So it's good prep. Let's make our way. Hands and knees, spread the fingers wide, and then extend the legs back, coming into that plank shape. And just really focus on pressing through the hands, rounding the upper back. Feel your belly button start to hug up and in. If you want a little bit of movement, you can take a little movement, maybe circle over the wrists, maybe hips kind of sink side to side. Whatever feels good for you, take 3 more breaths. And lower down, find a comfortable seat as an in-between just to let the core relax a little bit. So the first movement we're going to start off with today are going to be ways that we can move our legs while in a plank position. Okay. Now we'll start with a more basic variation and then we'll start to kind of add on from there. So let me show you first what we're going to be working towards. So I'm going to be in a plank position and I'm going to give options to pull the knee forward and to draw circles with the foot. Okay. This is level 1. Still a real burner for the core. Okay. I'll show you the next level if you would like to join me, okay? The next level, instead of bending the knee, we're going to keep the legs straight and we're going to draw a circle with the foot. Once we get to the hand, we're going to lift the hand, bring it through, switch hands, circle it all the way around. Then we're going to bring it back, circle, lift the hand, switch, lift the hand, circle it back, okay? So the shifting from hand to hand requires a little extra core engagement. Also, you're going to get into those transverse abdominals, a little bit into the obliques as well, which will be great. But we're also working our hip flexors, right? Hip flexors tying right up into those core muscles. So either one of those options is going to be just fine. If you're taking the bent knee variation, I'm not going to cue that one. I want you to just take it on your own. okay, for the entirety of the practice until we drop out. If you need to drop out sooner, that's okay as well. Let's make our way into that plank shape. Try to hollow out underneath you, okay? Now, we're going to start with our left leg. If you're going to do bent knee, start your bent knee and just work in both directions, clockwise and counterclockwise. Otherwise, left foot kicks to the left, let it slide on the ground, bring it all the way up and around towards your left hand. You can also take blocks underneath your hands if you're having difficulty, but just know that you're going to have to lift the blocks with your hands as well. Once the foot gets to your left hand, lift it, bring it through, switch, and then bring it all the way around. Start to sweep it back towards the right hand, lift it up, plant the right hand, sweep it back as the left hand lifts and lowers. Now do that 2 more times left side. On your own. The more fluidity, the more control, the better. Then once you're done, drop the knees, child's pose, sink back and breathe. And as you rest here, you can think to yourself, you know, I'm really glad we have 2 sides so that we can do that all over again. Alrighty. If you want at any point, you can come up, you can shake out your wrists, anything that your body's calling for, accommodate. Okay, we're going to do that right side now. Make your way into plank. Hollow out. If you want blocks, grab them. They actually make it a little harder, especially if you have heavy blocks. That's a little added weight to lift. From your plank, if you're going bent knee, go bent knee on that right side on your own, clockwise and counter. Otherwise, right foot sweeps to the right, all the way up. Lift your right hand, plant it, lift the left hand, sweep it around. Bring it back, left hand lifts, right hand lifts, sweep it around. 2 more rounds on your own. Once you're done, drop the knees, any resting position, pause and breathe. Whew. Get everything nice and fired up. Exactly what we're looking for. Okay, so the next one we're going to be doing are inchworms. And inchworms are going to create this pike shape in the body. And that pike is going to get your hip flexors warmed. It's going to get the front of your abs nice and warmed. And learning how to kind of cinch and pull them in together. You might get a lot of lift. You might only get a little bit of lift. Your feet might come all the way to your hands. They might only get a few inches. Either way is totally fine. Once again, I'm going to show you kind of the different variations, how they look. You can choose what's appropriate for you. So first one from plank is I'm lifting the hips and just trying to pull my feet in. So once again, maybe they only move a little bit. And if they do, however far they move in, then I'm going to walk back out into plank and repeat, pull and lifting up. I'm trying to pull my hips up and pull my feet to my hands. Now I'll show you if you're going a little bit deeper. From plank, I'm going to pike up, lift, and I might even be able to bring my feet all the way to my hands. Then I walk back out, full plank, and then I repeat. Okay? So for this, so that I can stay in the frame, I'm only going to do 2 walks in one direction, turn around, 2 walks back. If you have enough space to just keep going, just keep going. It's not a right side and left side kind of thing, so you should be able to, it doesn't really matter how even it is. We're doing both at the same time. So you can either go on one straight line, or if you're working with minimal space, maybe you're just doing 1 this way, 1 back, whatever you have space for. But we're going to be going through 4. We'll breathe, and then we'll do it again. Okay. So I'm going to come down a little bit so I have some space. Find your way into your plank. From your plank, press to the hands, lift the hips, pull the feet in as much as you can, walk your hands forward. It also depends on how far you pull in, how much space you take up. Press, pull, lift, and bring it back out. In fact, I'm going to do one more. Why not? Walk it out, plank, find your plank, press, lift, and then maybe turn it around, maybe stay where you are. We're going to do that again. We're going to add 3 more on here. Walk the hands forward, plank, press, pike, lift. Walk out, pike, lift, slide the feet in. Last one. Walk the hands out, press, and lift. And then drop yourself down and breathe. So if you don't have a whole lot of room to walk out in front of you, you can also just slide your feet back and you can continue to pull in and press back out. Pull in and press back out. Okay. So what I mean is you can pull in and then press back out. Okay. So if you only have limited space, you can still do the same thing. Okay. Shake it out. I know I said we were only going to do 4, but once I realized I had a little more space, I was like, hey, why not? What's an extra 2? You know, just good practice. Let's do that again. Getting ready. Find your way into plank. Press, pike the hips, bring the feet up. Walk it out. Press, pike, lift. Last one, walk it out. Press, pike, lift. Maybe flip it around, do what you need to do. Walk it out. And pike, pull it in. Walk it out. Press, pike. Last one, walk it out. Press, pike, drop it down, shake it out. Woo! Do whatever you need to here. Release those wrists. Okay. The last one we're going to do, we are going to want our blocks. If you don't need blocks, great. You probably already have an insanely strong core. But I'll show you what we're going to be doing. So the socks on the ground are only going to be used pretty minimally, but they do slide. We do want to make sure that they have that sliding room. We're going to be going from a reverse tabletop position to trying to get into an L-sit. I'll show you. My blocks are going to come to my sides, but not directly to the side of my hips. I want them slightly forward so that I have room to lean into it. Okay, so not so far forward that they're by your knees, just slightly forward of your hip line. Okay, now press into the blocks, lean in. You're going to lift the butt off the ground and then pull your hips back. Pull them back as much as you can. Maybe the feet come off the ground, but just more so focus on trying to pull the hips up and back. And then slide the heels forward, bend the knees and lift the hips. Okay, and then I'm going to pull the hips back and pull the feet in. Okay, that's what it's going to look like back and forth between pulling back like an L-sit. Feet don't have to leave the ground. In fact, when they don't, I feel like I get way more work in my core. Okay, and then you get more sliding on your feet. And then we come back, we'll come into that reverse tabletop position. And that way we're getting a little opening into the chest, shoulders in front of the body as well. Okay. Hands to your blocks. We're going to go through, let's say about 3 to 5 rounds. We'll see once we get in it. Okay. Hands to the blocks. You can bend the knees a little bit if you want to begin. Okay. Lift the hips, straighten the legs, pull the hips back, pull, 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 and then slide the heels slightly forward, then bend the knees, lift the hips, and then drop the hips, pull them back, slide the feet back, press, slide it forward, bend the knees, hips up. Exhale, drop the hips, slide them back. Let's do it again. Inhale, bring it up. Exhale, slide it back. Last round. Inhale, bring it up. Exhale, slide it back. And then come down, release, shake it out. So that pulling back, when the hips pull back, you have to really focus on rounding your spine and compressing. So your belly button's lifting, you're trying to get your thighs to pull up and back. There's a lot of engagement here, okay? So let's do that one more time. Hands to the blocks, lean slightly forward, press, lift the hips, pull the hips back and up as much as you can. Inhale, bring them forward, lift the hips. Exhale, drop the hips, pull them back, compress. Inhale, lift it up. Exhale, pull it back, compress. Inhale, lift it. Exhale, compress. Let's do 2 more. Inhale. Exhale, compress. Inhale. Exhale, compress, hold for 3, 2, and 1. Lower it down. Set the blocks out of the way. Find your way into a comfortable seat. Shake out the arms, shake out the wrists. Open up the arms. Give yourself some swinging hugs. Okay. If this is preparation for your practice, feel free to hit pause and continue practicing. Otherwise, we're going to close out together here. So come to stillness, spine up, hands joined together at your heart. Take a deep breath in. Open up the mouth and let it go. Let's do that again. Slow inhale. Open up the mouth and release it. Thank your body for all that it does for you. Being grateful for its strength, no matter where it is, no matter where you are in your journey. Be grateful exactly as you are. Thank you so much for allowing me to guide you today. Open up your eyes when you're ready. Thank you so much. I love doing core work with the socks, being able to slide and use that kind of core connection to help with that traction and that movement can really help to tap into those core muscles and the fluidity of that movement without feeling the stickiness of the mat kind of stopping us along the way. So I'd love to hear your feedback. Feel free to share with a friend, and I'm looking forward to practicing with y'all again soon. Thanks so much.